What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Daniel. I'm a fairly new investor, and in this channel I share different tips on what I learned on this crazy world of investing. In this video I want to share with you guys 3 stocks that have a high yield and they are considered pretty safe. So let's get right into the video. If you're a new investor, I want to share with you something that I've learned. Investors typically don't like to invest in high yield stocks because the bigger the return, the bigger the risk. And I also want to say, even though these stocks have shown great growth along the years, it goes without saying that they are still risky. Every stock is risky. So as always, I'm not a financial advisor, but before you start investing, I think you should talk to someone or get some coaching some way, somehow, of someone that knows what they're talking about before you invest, because it's your money, you earned it, and you shouldn't spend it or throw it into any stock without having any idea of what it has been doing for the past X amount of years. I also want to make clear that the data that I'm using comes from simplysafedividends.com. No, I'm not sponsored by them. I wish. I love the way that they break things down for the new investor like myself. I love the language they use. I love the explanations that they have for every different stock and why it's considered safe and why it's not considered safe. If you haven't checked them out, I'll put the link below. You can check them out. You get like 15 days free trial. So check them out. All right, let's get started with stock number 1. The first stock that we have is Philip Morris International. If you're not familiar with them, Philip Morris is an American cigarette and tobacco manufacturing company with products sold in over 180 countries. The most recognized product that they have is Marlboro. Now you're probably thinking, okay, now I know what you're talking about, Daniel, because before I didn't know, but now you know. One of the reasons why this stock might seem attractive to an investor, a new investor, or someone who's looking to add a safer stock with a high yield is because they have a yield of 6.37%. And even though the yield is safe and they are a great stock, it goes without saying, I keep going back to this, the higher the yield, the higher the risk. Now let's talk about what makes this a safe stock. Well, they've had a dividend growth for over 11 years. Also, the company has had an uninterrupted dividend streak for over 11 years without a dividend cut, which basically means if you are a retired investor who's looking to feel safe when payday of their dividends comes, this company is not one that's going to cut your dividends, or at least they haven't for the past 11 years. So it is pretty attractive to a new investor, older investor, someone who's looking to retire and just kind of feel safe. This is one of those stocks that you shouldn't overlook and that you should keep an eye out for because it has a good track record of 11 years and they've increased their dividends. They haven't cut their dividends, so it is a sign that the company is in good standing. If you are wondering if they're cutting their dividends, on April 21st, the company stated the following: "We also expect that strong cash flow will exceed cash requirements, including the funding of dividends, to which we remain fully committed. Crucially, our organization, liquidity, and balance sheet are strong. We'll continue to protect and support our employees, serve our consumers, and reward our shareholders, which clearly includes our strong commitment to a dividend." Again, I feel this statement should make you feel a little safer in knowing that the company's not thinking of cutting their dividends with everything that's going on. I know that's a big talk. That's a talk that a lot of the dividend investors are having. With Philip Morris, you shouldn't worry about it because they haven't announced that they're cutting any dividends and they are staying strong. Now, moving on to stock number 2, Chevron Corporation. If you're not familiar with them, Chevron is one of the world's largest oil companies. As of 2019, is ranked 11th in the Fortune 500 list of the top US closely held and public corporations and 28th on the Fortune Global 500 list of the top 500 corporations worldwide. I know that was a riddle, I know. Something that makes Chevron attractive to its stockholders will definitely be its dividend yield of 5.68%. The company also has a long track of dividend growth of over 33 years, and it has had an uninterrupted 33 years of dividend cuts. That means they haven't cut their dividends in over 33 years. I don't know, but that makes me feel safe. And if you're an investor who's looking for a high return and high yield return on their investment, obviously this company is a strong one, but as always, guys, please do your research. Now, last but not least, stock number 3. The reason why I left this one for last is because I'm actually invested into this one and I wanted to do my research because I wanted to feel, safer or safe. Before I invested in it, I was doing my research before I asked a couple of my friends that were invested in them. I did a little bit of research. I'm huge on that. As you guys know, I'm new and I'm not one of those guys who just has any experience in the stock market or anything like that. So I like to be sure I kind of have or feel safe when I'm about to make an investment. If you don't know about AT&T, AT&T is a modern media company with a unique blend of businesses working together, providing customers around the world with connectivity, technology, entertainment, news, advertising, and more. And this is what attracted me personally to AT&T. Not only is it a popular phone network carrier, I love that their company is very diverse. It's not just cell phones or it's not just internet. They have a wide variety. And something that I also noticed with AT&T is before I invested in it, it was below, it wasn't safe. It wasn't a safe dividend stock on Simply Safe Dividends, but recently they moved it. So I have to do more research, but I believe they finally found something that moved it up to the 65% or the number 65 for a safety scale. From anything from 60 and above all the way to 100 is considered safe according to Simply Safe Dividends. And that makes me feel better, I want to say. And definitely for my month of June, I will add a little more to my AT&T stock. AT&T has a dividend yield of 6.70%, which is very high return. And also, again, it's very risky, but do your research before you get started, because it could be one of those where the risk is worth giving it a try and not just, oh, is it high return, I'm not gonna give it a try, because it could be risky, which every stock could be risky. They've also had a dividend growth streak of 36 years, and they've also had a 36-year streak uncut dividend. That is very attractive to any investor who's looking to add a stock that it will not cut their dividends anytime soon, or at least it hasn't had a track record of cutting their dividends. If you are worried if AT&T will cut their dividends with the recent world pandemic, on April 22nd, the company stated, "We remain committed to our dividend. In fact, we finished last year with our dividend as a percentage of free cash flow a little over 50%. And even with the current economic crisis, we expect the payout ratio in 2020 to be in the 60s. And we're targeting the low end of that range, which is a very comfortable level for us." Now, it goes without saying that with a track record of over 36 years of growth, this company has proven that it is willing to adapt, it is willing to make the changes necessary to grow, and it is a company that I'm willing to keep backing up because they are not afraid of change, they're not afraid to adapt. Alright guys, this has been it for me. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and stick around. I post every Monday and Friday, so look forward to seeing the next one, and have a good weekend. What's going on, what's going on, guys? Welcome. The return? No. With you guys in this what is, what's it, or someone who's looking to retire or add. So they have a 6 point. One of the reasons, it goes without saying that